What about Nikki Haley? I'm just surprised only because she says she's staying in this race. I know you guys have reached out to her. What kind of reaction are you getting from the Haley campaign?
Well, she hasn't reached back out to us at all, so we're getting no reaction as of this point. Yeah, no, it's not surprising at all. I mean, she's publicly stated that, you know, she doesn't support unions. I think in one press conference she said, you know, the reason why Boeing chose to go to South Carolina was because, you know, there wasn't a strong union present. She supports that, so it doesn't surprise us.
You've talked in the past about issues you've had with the former president's record on union issues. Did those come up at all in the conversation today?
Yeah, we had a long conversation, dialogue about, you know, right to work, PRO Act, making it easier to organize, supporting workers' rights legislation, working together on bankruptcy reform. Today's dialogue was basically about putting our issues out on the table and letting people know, letting all the candidates know how important these issues are.
Did you seem responsive? Did he make any concessions?
It was an engagement conversation. You know, look, a lot of this, I think, with every single candidate we've found is that, you know, they're not as well versed on a lot of these issues, and it's up to us that we can articulate exactly what it is. I mean, we've been working hard across the street with a lot of senators that aren't Democrats, that we've been able to get support on a lot of issues that they wouldn't support prior. So this is going to be a continued work in progress.
Does any of his answers surprise you?
No, I mean, look, every candidate has a certain way of answering questions. Some are more direct than others. And then, you know, I think what we've seen consistent with all candidates that have come to meet with us is that, you know, they all say they're pro-worker and they say they're going to support workers. At the end of the day, no matter what choice we make, we have to be the conscience to the people that we support. So, you know, the conversation was pleasant. It was direct. And at the end of the day, we still have some more questions that need to be asked of both candidates. And more importantly, we've got to get consensus. We're going to be doing a lot of polling with our members because this is going to be the most important decision under our administration, the O'Brien-Zuckerman administration, moving forward. So we need to get it right. And the way we're going to get it right is the inclusiveness and transparency of our 1.3 million rank and file members.
President Trump often talks about rank and file union members and supporting him, suggesting that you know it's a pretty high level even if he doesn't get endorsed. What's your read on that? How many? What's your sense of how many rank and file union members might go for President Trump?
Well, we don't have that polling done yet, so it's tough to speak. And look, I don't represent any other unions but the Teamsters union. That is why in the next several weeks, several months, we will be doing that due diligence, and we can revisit that question. There's no doubt about there is union support for President Trump, and there's always union support for President Biden. Look, regardless, President Biden has done a lot of good work for union members. I mean, he fixed 300 pension funds that were on the verge of being insolvent, created a lot of jobs, CHIPS Act, and a lot of issues that are important to us. But like I've stated before, what you've done in the past doesn't guarantee you a future with us. We want to know what you're going to do for our members moving forward. You're going to support our issues, and in time of need, you're going to step up and do what's right by working people in this country.
You endorsed Biden in August 2020. Do you think that's the same sort of time frame for this endorsement?
Historically, the Teamsters have always endorsed candidates after the respective conventions. We've got a great executive board. The faster we get President Biden in here and the more questions we get answered from both candidates with strong commitments, the endorsement or non-endorsement may come sooner than later. We haven't made a decision yet.
How much of the conversation with President Trump was focused on explicit labor policy like right to work and the PRO Act versus trade and immigration policy for broad?
A lot of the conversation, that the narrative that we were putting forward was all our members' issues. He has a strong passion, a strong opposition to what's going on at the borders right now. Look, I mean, we are all products of immigration, and you know the Teamsters Union supports immigrant workers because we all come from products of people that came from different countries. There is a opinion that there's a lot of criminals coming across the border, a lot of crime being committed, a lot of countries releasing prisons. We don't know whether that's factual or not, but that's some of the due diligence we're going to check on.
He was out here. He said that you were with him on shutting down the border. It doesn't sound like that's really.
Sean O'Brien never said he's with anybody on any issue.
Is that it's a realistic possibility that he could receive?
The only realistic possibilities out there is whoever candidate supports our issues is going to get our endorsement. If we're not confident in any candidate, they won't get any endorsement. No, we have to move on.
What's the most important issue on the table?
We have to move on to the rank and file.
They're more important than I am, trust me. They're the reason why this country keeps moving.
We just have one question for each, and then we have to run.
I said, what's the most important issue, maybe everybody, in the endorsement decision? Maybe you can all answer that.
For me, it's right to work.
I would agree with. I agree. Right to work.
Is it also your perception that there is a difference of opinion, a difference of political support from the rank and file versus union leadership?
One more time, I'm sorry.
Do you also feel, the way President Trump just described when he was out here, do you feel like there's a difference of the political sentiment from the rank and file versus union leadership? Is there a disconnect?
I can answer that question. I was posed a question last.
I think we can learn.
No, you will. I was posed a question. You know, you're a union boss, so you know you have to guide your members the right way. I'm not a union boss. These are the bosses, our rank and file members that allow us the privilege. So whatever decision is going to be made is going to be very inclusive and transparent. We're a bottom-up organization.
It's right to work for organizing. If you look at how, say, the Biden NLRB has acted versus the Trump NLRB, what's the argument you'd make in support of endorsing President Trump, given what happened in terms of organizing and the NLRB?
Look, there's no question. There's no question the Biden administration has been great for unions. But again, sometimes dialogue helps formulate difference of opinions that will be favorable to unions and positions moving forward. So that's what our goal is. Again, we're not looking at what happened in the past. We're looking on what's going to happen in the future.
We have to wrap up, but thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.